Well, good morning, everyone. Today is April 7th, 2025. And boy, is there a lot going on today. Pretty terrible stuff. So, tell me how everybody's doing today. Let me know where you are located so I can say hello. Hey, Karen Numberger's here. Hey, Karen. Carrie is here. Good morning, Carrie. We are waiting for the guys to join us. Let's see here. I think I forgot to turn this on. All right, there we go. All righty. Stand by, loading up here.
Good morning.
Well, good morning, Alex.
How are you?
I'm good. Did I do something with the layout here? What did I do?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
We're good.
Oh, there you are.
That's what your IT guy's for.
Yeah. How the heck are you, sir?
I'm good, man. How are you? Let me get the volume up here.
I'm good. While you do that, let me say hello to some people. Excuse me. Kim SS is here. Good morning, Kim. Tracy Fagan over in Ireland is here. Marianne is here from Louisiana. Terry is here from Minnesota. Christy B78, one of our subscribers, is here. I think we have James. Let me see if I can bring him on.
I got you. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. We have PM Hughes is here from San Diego. John Gwynn, one of our subscribers, is here. Oh, Terry Dykes is here, and she said, my screen is backward. I know. There we go. Thank you, Terry. You think I would learn by night?
Nope.
I know. Don't rub it in, Alex. All righty. So, wait. Good morning, James.
Good morning, gentlemen.
How are those eyebrows doing this morning?
Well, I think the populace of the whites are outnumbering the black. Gray here is great, real thing.
Yeah, no. Welcome to the club, brother. Welcome to the club.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, exactly. I'm married to Bob is here. Ohio. Sheila is here. Good morning. All right. Tell me what you're seeing going on, Alex. What's first up this morning?
Oh, dude.
I know.
I mean, where do we even begin? We've got to just go through the regular financials. So currently, it appears that gold has dipped. Right now, we're sitting at 3,000.
Okay.
Not a big dip. I mean, stock markets across the board. Yesterday was Sunday, so not much happening, but they started down considerably lower. S&P 500's down 69 points, Dow's down 754 points, Nasdaq's down 173, and crypto market is down. Though it has recovered. Bitcoin was down to 77, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 74,000. It's rallied and come back up to looks like currently we're sitting at 8. XRP's down below $2. Where to go?
Well, it's interesting. I sent all you guys out a text last night about the Asian stock markets being just pummeled. So I was expecting Black Friday. So what I've heard, hey, good morning, Dave.
Black Monday.
Good morning, guys.
Yeah, predicting maybe it would be Black Monday. Well, so it was down 1,100 points when it opened. And then all of a sudden it flipped 1,000 points. It was 800 positive. What the heck is going on? So I did some quick research before we came on. It turns out that there was some sort of fake news broadcast that President Trump was considering a 90-day pause on the tariffs. That was released, flipped the markets $7 trillion in about 20 minutes. And then when the White House came out and said, no, that was fake news, all of a sudden is back down 800 points.
Which politicians made some money on that fake news post?
Exactly. So, James, how are you this morning?
I'm doing well. The ice is receding from the landing or the beach. It's heading out. I think 3 more days and I'll be on ice.
There we go. There we go. Latest with you this morning.
But it is a little colder, I have to admit. You know, that when you don't have eyebrows, it's chilly.
Exactly.
You might have to
We
do a
don't, we
comb
don't have a beard. It gets a little chilly.
to do a comb over from the left to the right. There.
Exactly.
It's chilly here in Iowa with high winds, but sun's out and a little bit of rain in the middle of the week, and then it's going to be popping up into the 70s the way it sounds over the weekends.
Oh, great. Excellent.
Jumping a tractor, I'm sure soon.
So, James, military update for today.
Well, there's quite a bit of action going on in the big the USS. People are asking how does a strike group, whether it's an aircraft carrier or a battle group, how do they defend against all these relentless drone attacks? And it's been interesting hearing the SM-2 to defend our aircraft carriers and our battleships, and it do cost about $2 million a shot. So now what's called the Roadrunner and Coyote systems, and they're designed specifically to go after UAVs. So it's kind of like a done drone. It takes them out. You think about taking a $1,000 item or a $1,500 item that's ultra fast speed and taking down a drone. $1,000 versus $2 million is pretty important for the economy. But moreover, we would rather save our SM-2s for higher values. By for sure, we've been wasting a lot. Other than what we're doing militarily, the Army announces that it's probably bring down about 90,000 troops. And I guess the president has talked to Pete Hegseth this weekend. We're done being the world policeman. So we're going to be downsizing all our military. One, because of the new AI stuff, and the F-47 is a good example, whether it's manned or unmanned. The warfare today is different than it was back in the days of Vietnam.
Right, and that was what I highlighted on the dispatch this morning was Pete Hegseth reiterating the fact that President Trump doesn't want us to be the police force of the world anymore. Another step away from globalism. Excellent. Thank you for that, James. Arch is here, sir. One of our subscribers. Good morning. Adam is here. Hey, Adam.
Good morning, John.
Well, we're just get started. Full mental jacket said, Alex, the beat. No. Patrick. DC, one of our subscribers from Ohio, is here. Hey, Traveler made it. Good morning, Traveler. Good morning, Lisa Maria, one of our treasured subscribers. Thank you all for the gifts. It's wonderful.
What a little bit of a break for you guys over the weekend, and you guys lose some weight in hair. I mean, James's poor eyebrows flew off his face, and you got Alex's beard. What happened?
I know.
Decided to protest and walk off.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
Within, sir. Let's start within.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So let's jump in here. We talked about Pete Hegseth and the No More Global Police Force, which I, for one, am glad to see. And then we have Trump ends the woke transgender research and orders studies on regret of trans kids after mutilations. How many states have put legislation in place to protect the kids? I mean, really, this is what we're talking about, guys. We're talking about the protection of the kid. Alex?
Yeah.
Well, speaking of, there was a release 11 weeks in, and if you scroll down on House.gov, and we look at that specific topic about the border, and week 11, where did it go? It's supposed specifically about how crossings in Panama were down 98% as accompanied minors at the border.
Wow. Wow. Significant numbers. Adam?
I'm actually waiting to kind of see. I've been actually looking for the what done here, because I know that I actually have a very friend of mine, a family that I grew up with, that one of their kids kind of went through that transition, even against what the family's beliefs were, etc. So I'm looking at even a personal side of this to see what's happening, because I know that Utah's also, they're the first ones that's going through the whole removing fluoride from the water system, and I know they've also removed a lot of the woke agenda out of the schools as well. A lot of that's working right now, kind of all the way around.
Right.
Ironically, you're talking about the fluoride. I talked to my dentist, and she goes, "It's really important to have." I go, "But should we look into it?" And she goes, "Well, I don't think it hurt anything looking into it." She goes, "That's important on our side to health of the kids' teeth." And I'm like, "Well, okay, but let's even ground here and make sure."
You know, it's fun.
For us.
So I'll tell you a little story about, let's see, when I was married, which was years ago, but about 20 years ago, I had started reading about fluoride back in the early 90s. I read reports from MIT, Lancet, New England Journal of Medicine, all of them saying it was toxic. So there came my oldest daughter needed some dental work done, and they wanted to put fluoride treatments on them. And my wife was at the time was like, "Oh, I don't know." And so I got the dentist on the phone, and I put her in such a tight box that she had to admit, yeah, there's really no proof that fluoride helps teeth. And it was my wife witnessed that, my wife at the time, my daughter witnessed that. And this is 22 years ago. So these reports that I read decades ago, it just blows my mind that it's coming out now. And there's no way to defend it. Sodium fluoride is a byproduct of aluminum manufacture, fertilizer manufacturing. And prior to these studies being doctored, what did they have to do? They had to spend millions of dollars to dispose of it properly until they faked the test that supposed to prove that it helped your teeth. And then what happened? Oh, all of a sudden it goes from spending millions of dollars disposing of it to having it being a revenue source, no matter what it does to the population.
But a useless knowledge. The first city to put it in their drinking water was Grand Rapids, 1945.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I hear it causes eyebrow loss.
Right.
No, they just don't like it. They just get up and walk off their own.
Right, exactly. Or you lose a bet. Uh-huh. So, hey, Wendy's here. Good morning, Wendy. Allie Mae is here. Good morning, Allie Mae. Yeah, so that is my story with the fluoride treatment. And it, you know, when you have facts backed up and you have receipts, and this is years ago, there's nowhere for them to go. I put her inside, and I was trying to be kind about it and polite, because my wife would have, you know, just had I not, but then I did it in a really nice way, but there was nowhere for her to go. She couldn't prove her point. So
Sam, that's diplomacy, and you know what the definition of diplomacy is, right?
No, what?
It's being able to tell someone to go to hell and tell someone to go to hell, and they look forward to the truth.
That's a good one, Adam.
Happy wife, happy life. Speaking of, he said depression. She brought this up to me yesterday. Reading an article. Depression medications for women have been linked to 50% increase in brain tumors in women.
If you look at the box of most antidepressant medications, they will tell you right on the box, or the insert inside the box, that make homicidal or suicidal, right on the box, right on the insert. Yet people are pumping that crap into their body tomorrow. So thank you for bringing that up, Allie Mae.
Yet you get the cause effect with birth control.
What? Yeah, well, that's a whole cocktail.
That's whole nother conversation.
Right.
We'll have.
Exactly. All right, let me see here. So everybody bear with me. So I have this new setup in here. I've got multiple screens now, and I am just having trouble getting everything weighted so I can read it properly. You can see my lighting's all screwed up. My nephew hasn't come over to fix it, so bear with me. It's
You look great, sir. It's okay.
I don't know. I mean, I look orange.
But you do look a little Trumpish.
Yeah, I.
It's an homage to Trump. It's okay. Orange man is not.
I know. Oh gosh. So as I was saying, so I've got these.
Work on your impersonation skills, and you'll have it down. You've got the orange lighting. Now just use your hand.
Oh no, that's you all the way, Alex. Lisa Maria, one of our subscribers, said orange is great. Scratch 65 is here. One of our subscribers. Morning, Scratch. So, all right, well, let's jump over here now. The next thing up for discussion. Oh, all right. So we're talking about the protests all over the country, 50 states, over 1,200 protests. Interesting is there were buses busing people in. Interesting. James, what do you make of that?
I was waiting for this topic. It's interesting here in Minnesota. I actually see it, but I saw the footage of not only people being bussed in, pickup loads and trunk loads of protester signs, and then given a piece of paper to read the narrative. And over the weekend, I saw a plethora of people posting on social media. And what I found interesting about when you go look at the post of the person that posted, they oftentimes had anywhere from 10 to about 105 followers. They had about anywhere from 5 to 15 posts about that particular topic, and they were all done on the same day. All of them were done on the same day. So when you think about people talking down and being questioned, are you paid for this? It was like it was scripted. Bad man. It really comes down to they were hired. Their social media posts, and there's a term for that, and it's called propagandist apparatus. They were using this particular situation apparatus to try to change the demeanor of people's minds throughout the country, and I think it was a complete failure.
Well, yeah, Adam, what are your thoughts?
I would actually agree with that because I was downtown Salt Lake over the weekend as well, and they have there, and it looked pretty scarce to say. It was abysmal. I mean, the attempt was it was laughable. That was all I could say.
Yeah.
I mean, over the week, it was also the LDS Church's semi-annual conference they have down there, and there was more people protesting that than there were Donald Trump.
Yeah. Alex, what are your thoughts?
So this one's gonna get my temperature up just a little bit because
Woosah, Alex, woosah.
I mean, there were people flying flags upside down. The United States flag. We're in peril. There were Mexico flags. There were Hamas flags. There were Antifa flags. Okay, Hamas, Antifa, been declared what kind of group? You're getting off a bus and somebody hands you a sheet. Okay, class is in session. This is what will be today. Everybody chant together at the same time. Your checks will be delivered via direct deposit 1 week after at our little rally here, okay?
Yeah. Mike, who's in the film industry, his brother is a SAG actor. He's a stuntman. And he said that there were requests sent out for paid protesters just this last week. Paid protesters. And that's inside information. So we have, Agape's Rescues Children is here. Hi, Stacy. How are you? Gee, I wonder where Stacy is today. Anyway, she said being orange is a compliment. Yeah, well, with you, you're absolutely right. So, all right, let's see here. James, what are your thoughts on? Excuse me, Dave. What are your thoughts on the protest?
Well, we had someone locally here at Davenport, Iowa, on the called Brady Street Hill, and it's right outside KWQC TV. And then they posted some protesters and there was like 200 people out there.
200.
Yeah, thousands.
Exactly. Now, I have a theory on this. I have a theory on this. At 2020, when the protests, the mainly peace protests were being run, I think that was a deep state operation. We might be able to look at this a little different. If it doesn't break out into violent behavior, I think there may be another reason why those protests have been allowed to happen or even caused to happen. But when you have being paid to come and protest from major studios, something's up, in my opinion. Hey, Mighty Mill, thank you for the gifts. Let's see here. So next up, Zero Hedge. California lawmakers reject bills to ban males from female. Oh, before we get to that, Alex, what is the crude oil at right now? Is it $10, I think, right?
Crude oil is currently sitting at $60 a barrel.
So it's down $10 a barrel.
Two more dollars than it was the other day.
It's
12.
If you look at a 5-day trend, it was at 71.72 at its height, 71.80, and we're at 60.87. So yeah, 10, 11 bucks.
So if we're looking at a $10 per barrel decrease, what does that equate to in terms of dollars or cents per gallon at the local level?
I think it depends on your state.
Right, but overall, I mean, at an average, I've heard something 30 or 40 cents.
Probably. That's probably pretty close.
Wow, incredible.
Well, here's Georgia. Gas prices jump in Georgia.
Really?
Gas prices slightly raised, yeah.
Interesting.
Well,
There's got to be an opportunist around the corner somewhere.
yeah.
They're taking their profit right now because they know that. Here's the thing with oil, and I've heard these predictions from several analysts and other market watchers. Once we kind of get in through this little market softening, if you will, oil is just going to really stay down here at a lower price, and so they're trying to take advantage of the price taking right now. Because here in Utah, we've got 3 refineries that sit right at north of Salt Lake. Our gas is still $3 a gallon right now.
Oh, so it's
Well,
cheap
once
over there.
Well, over here for us, actually, that's kind of on the expensive side.
Yeah,
Yes,
I know. I'm being facetious. I mean,
we're still sitting at almost $5.
exactly. I mean, it's $4.99 out here. Now they've just passed a new law, a new tax here in California. It's going to raise it 50 to 60 cents a gallon. I mean, and people are talking about Newsom becoming the president. Oh my God, could you imagine what would have happened if that piece of work got?
Sam, your gas are more in taxes than it would be with the gas.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And they're shutting down refineries in Wilmington. I mean, talk about bizarre.
In April of 2020, gas was $1.84 a gallon, folks.
Yeah.
And underneath that 4-year run, it went all the way up to, and this is off of the U.S. Energy Information. This is our own EIA.gov website, right?
Mhm.
And so June of 2022 is all the way up to $4.92 a gallon. So we're going to time for the spigot to get cranking and get going. It's not going to happen immediately,
Right.
but it has. In January it was at $3.07. It went up to $3.12, down to $3.09. We're just gonna have to kind of ride the wave and what happens month over month and see as those spigots get turned on.
I agree. Choose your poison is here. Oh, sorry, Adam. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think Moni has said that eggs are down 50% in the whole.
Huh?
And I told him if only we could run our cars on eggs.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. When that's nuts. Yeah, I agree. Scratch 65 said are price gouging. Well, I think the oil industry in general is in panic mode. They don't know what to think at this point. I think you have tariffs being placed, and then President Trump, came out today and told China, look, if you don't reduce that tariff, we're going to add another 50% tariff.
Well, no, back up. So China, I'll read it verbatim. Yesterday, China issued regulatory tariff 4%. So they increased their tariff us by 34%. Already record-setting tariffs. And that's saying if you don't stop this, I'm going to add an additional 50% on top of what we're already putting on. So the trade wars are happening.
Right.
At the end of the day, folks can't afford to not sell this economy. They're
Exactly.
already on the tipping point. This is going to push them over the edge. So it'll be interesting to see how that particular relationship ferrets itself out. But when you've got countries that go, okay, hey, guess what? You know what? Let's be fair. 0% tariffs to you, 0 tariffs to us. We both walk away happy. Companies,
Right.
We'll see.
Exactly. And it's going to take time, like Alex said. Iowa Princess, Amy here. Hey, Amy. Amy, also, the other Amy said we trust the process. I agree. That's where we're headed. And hey, 6U is here. Hey, 6U. He said, look for the union label. Interesting. So
Alex, I was just looking at the Shanghai. You can see where they put the money into the market right before, like, summer of last year. Spiked. Like, you can just see it.
Huge spike.
yeah. Virgo 40 said my gas prices have gone up in Mississippi. Well, welcome to the club, Virgo 47, because it's ugly over here in California. So Zero Hedge said California lawmakers reject bills to ban males from female sports. Another crazy move by the crazy people in charge of California. Now, there's been a lot of talk in Bass, the mayor of LA City, being recalled, Gavin Newsom being neutralized politically, and I don't know what to make of it. But does it surprise anybody on this panel? California rejected a bill to ban males from female sports. Alex?
I'll just sit here and say that that's becoming a bigger dumpster fire than any Tesla in front of Trump Tower ever thought of being.
Right.
Well, there was a pregnant woman seriously injured by a rock thrown through her Tesla windshield. Folks.
Oh, really?
Yes. Like it's, I don't care what side you're on. Common sense and morality is common sense and morality. Before you jump on the like what kind of serious mental defects does it for you to pick up rocks and throw them through moving car windows? Like,
well, you know what I find very interesting, you guys, like you all know, I'm here in the belly of the beast, and we have now blue liberals in California. I just had conversations with some yesterday. They're saying how they can't wait to get rid of their Tesla. Yet a year ago, oh my God, if you're not driving a Tesla, you're damaging the environment. These people act on emotion. They don't think anything through. And it just blows my mind that they can't see it. James, what do you think?
Well, my statement may be troubling, but I think it could be effective for those that know. And my question is, if a man wants to be a woman, or I guess that's what you would call it, can somebody please tell me what the gestation period is?
Exactly. Dave, what do you think?
It's amazing that they even put your hat on that. That's going to be your final stand because it's only going to bite you in the ass. Plain and simple.
Exactly. Adam?
What's the hot button topic that we can get the most traction with right now?
There's a lot of truth to that.
Well, then next question to follow up with yours, James, is what's the birthing process?
Exactly.
I think it all starts with the removal of eyebrows. I'm not sure.
Or it'd be the trimming of one's beard. It's possible. It's possible. I'm just saying.
Sam, I'm going to answer my own question, and you guys will figure it out pretty fast. I think the gestation period will be 3 months, 3 weeks, and 3 days.
It could be. Yeah, that could be. Hey, so we've had some questions in the chat about the daily goal. So I set a regular daily goal, and then this thing popped up. I did this flash goal. So you can just ignore the flash goal. The daily goal is Dolphins today. I'm trying new things. So, I'm sorry, you guys. I am technically challenged with some of this.
Sam, stop clicking buttons.
Yeah, I know. That's what I got. What I got to do is just stop buttons. That's exactly right.
If you can turn these computers on, you wouldn't have any of these problems.
Yeah, I know. God. Amy said, Alex, did you get a haircut? You look sharp. Wow. Alex getting all the props here. It's great.
One of the things I do want to bring up, Sam.
Yes, sir.
I've read this in our chat. These people chatting here for quite a few days now. They said, why is President Trump golfing instead of welcoming home 4 deceased soldiers? Well, those families they don't want the exposure of the president. It's a sad time. They want to be quiet. They want it to be private and personal. If the president of the United States went there, there'd be a lot of people, rhetoric included, and they want their privacy. So instead of him going, Pete Hegseth to go do that. And I think that's a very honorable thing. I mean, he didn't want to cause problems for the families. Let them have their privacy.
But you're just going against the narrative, damn it.
Yeah, exactly.
We want to believe that CNN's and AP News that went out at 8:00 in the morning about Trump golfing while people are dying is real. That's a real story.
Right. Hey, Peggy Jo Smith is here on Facebook. Hey, Peggy, I hope you got my message yesterday. Captain Graybeard's in the oil industry. Captain said, from the ground to the pump, prices take usually weeks to reflect. Thanks, Captain. You would know. Virgo 47 said there's just too much media. I agree. Don the third G, one of our subscribers, is here. Hey, Don. And Don said he sent Pete Hegseth. Yeah, exactly. Nanner is here. Good morning, Nanner. Sherry from Tennessee is here. Welcome, Sherry. All right, so let's move on, gentlemen. The next one, J.D. Vance came out and said, quote, instead of getting the Medal of Freedom, Nancy Pelosi should be in jail for insider trading and setting up January 6th. That is a significant statement by the Vice President of the United States. Dave, what do you think? Go ahead, Alex.
I agree. Go ahead.
Oh, Alex, go ahead. Sorry.
Quite frankly, that's huge news. It's huge. You heard it first here on the Sam Salgu Dispatch.
Exactly. Dave?
And I think we're sitting on plenty of information to get her.
Yeah.
No doubt about that.
Or she's already, we just don't know it yet. James, what are your thoughts?
Well, set up an app and we see it coming. We know what she's trading and when she's trading. She's obviously been tipped off by somebody. She has a hard time eating ice cream. I can't imagine her being any good with money.
Right.
Tipping her off. I mean, when they have an app about it, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Adam?
I just want to see the bracelets.
Yeah,
Bottom line, I just want to see the bracelets.
It's coming.
Take the award away from her. Maybe they'll give her the award and then slap the bracelets on her and take the award back.
Right. Lisa Maria said she loves J.D. Vance. Yeah, I think we all do. I was not a fan in the beginning when he was picked, but I'll tell you, I certainly have come around on that. I really like him, I should say.
I'll admit I wasn't sure. I left the jury out on J.D. Vance when he joined the ticket. I'm like, I know very little about him. I just kind of waited to see, and he hasn't disappointed by any stretch.
Right, I agree. Well, look who we have into the chat, into the face screen here. Jen the one and only Jen Talk.
The one and only.
Good morning, Jen.
Good morning. How is everybody today?
We are doing well. We are going through the Daily Dispatch talking points. I would love to get your opinion on these protests that took place over the weekend.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
All right.
Careful.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm good. I have to think about this. All right. So yesterday, Nancy Pelosi was here in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and Wilkes-Barre was there in Lackawanna County, and they were protesting, and I was just blown away.
Yeah.
I couldn't even believe it was like a circus, to be honest. I felt like I was at a kid's circus or something.
Right.
I don't want to think because I'm not on my live, and Alex is like, "Oh shit!" He's like grabbing his face, like, "Oh my god."
At least he's got hair to rub.
Yeah.
It's just it's almost like they were all paid actors, and majority of the people that were there are all senior citizens. They're reared, you know what I'm saying? So it's just.
Well, did you hear what I said about nephew's brother, who is a SAG actor?
No, I didn't.
He's an actor. He's part of the SAG, and he said at the end of last week they got requests for paid protesters at the major studios.
Oh, I believe it. That's what the rumors going on. Like that's what everybody's talking about here in Scranton.
Right.
Is that there were people paid to go there.
You didn't get invited to go see Nancy?
If I knew that she was actually going to be down there, I would have actually went down there just be an a-hole, you know?
That'd have been great. That'd have been a great live.
Valerie J. in Guantanamo for entertainment purposes only. Well, I think it's Scratch 65 said lawmakers who amass millions in wealth need to be investigated. Well, and I think that's what's happening. B. Bethany just sent a whole bunch of gifts. Thank you, B. Bethany. So, all right.
Condescending attitude when the press conferences and anybody that speaks out, and it just infuriates me to no end. Oh, just hush. She goes on. You be quiet. I let you know.
Right.
You don't understand, lady.
She works
You
for
work
us. Right.
Exactly.
That's exactly right, Adam. Okay, guys. Let me do a quick.
San Francisco.
What's that, James? All right.
Nancy Pelosi lives in San Francisco.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, she claims to.
Okay. Well, every time that she goes home on the taxpayer. When I was in the military, you couldn't do anything on the government's dollar if it was for your free time. So how, if she was going to her free time, did the United States taxpayer have to pay for that plane ride?
Right. Exactly. And they bitch and complain about Trump playing a little golf when he's not even being paid as free. I mean, come on.
Well, I guarantee you she's not flying commercial either.
Yeah.
Simple.
Exactly.
She'd be tarred and feathered.
Yeah, exactly. Let me do a little break here for sponsorship, guys and gals. So, as you all know, I'm sponsored by Mike Lindell, MyPillow. A great company, a great guy. If you are looking to support an American company and support America and a true patriot, go to mypillow.com, enter in the code SAM, and you'll get up to 80% of all of your purchases. Secondly, we have Neil Naturopathic, the only organic, all natural, no chemical hair care products in the market today. Neil is a personal friend of mine. If you go to samshalhoub.com, click on the hair products, and enter in the code SAM20, that's SAM20, you'll save 20% off of your purchase. And then lastly, Dr. Peter Glidden, who's been on the show. He is a licensed naturopathic doctor of 35 years practice. If you go to my website, samshalhoub.com, click on his button, it'll take you to his website. He has a website that he has built that will answer just about any question you have on health and wellness. So go to samshalhoub.com. Also, his new book is out. And if you go to my website and click on his book button, it'll take you to his book and you'll get 10% off. So thank you for listening. And let's get back to it here.
One more supporters, Sam. All of those technical needs are met by me.
Exactly.
And we spent hours this weekend. I have bruises on my forehead, but if you want to support technology, risktool.com.
Yeah, so let people know a little bit about what Risk Tool is, Alex.
Risktool Technologies is a software as a service. If your organization needs to train your staff on cybersecurity risks, the number one threat to your organization is your staff. So we can help you with that.
Yeah, and the website one more time.
Risktooltech, TECH.com.
Would one of you guys put that in the chat for everybody, please? All righty, so let's move on here now. So Joe Rambo, who I myself, guy's great. He's on Rumble, he's on X. Rumble, he's Rambo and Friends. On X, he's Joe Rambo. He came out with a rapid response 47 text tweet that came out over the weekend. Said that more than 50 countries have reached out to the president to begin a negotiating. So this is according to Kevin Hassett, the National Economic Council director. Now, in addition to 50 out and saying, hey, we want help, Vietnam has offered to move all tariffs on U.S. imports after Trump announced a 46% tariff, right? Then you have Taiwan agreeing to drop all tariffs on the United States, joining India, Israel, Vietnam, and Cambodia, all intending to zero out their tariffs. Now, if that is not an expression of peace through strength, I don't know what is. Alex, what are your thoughts?
What a flex.
Yeah.
I gotta say, flex. Like, this has gone on for decades and decades. The sweat equity of us hardworking blue collar Americans is being sold down the river to other countries at a discount. We can take in all these imports. We can sell the Nissan, these others, but try to take your Chevy pickup truck over to Japan and sell that. Like, this is a huge step in the right direction for us to level the playing field across the world and us stop being the piggy banks of the world. Like, we're giving away the sweat equity of those of us that work so hard. It had to happen. It had to happen. Is it gonna hurt? It's gonna hurt, but it's way less than where we would be 3, 5, 10 years down the road if it didn't happen.
Yeah, Jen, what are your thoughts?
I just think that people are afraid of the unknown. They're afraid of change. You know, the unknown is scary. People don't look at it in ways that other people see it. And I think that people should really have an open mind to what is going on and maybe do some research more about it if they don't understand it. And you know, just I'm all for it, and I think it's great, but I think people need to more time out to invest and look into this before, so they actually know what they're looking at, because I think they're confused.
Well, what I hear you saying, they're fear motivated. They're afraid.
Yes.
And I understand that, but that doesn't mean, you know, my Dr. Mike, God rest his soul, he had a phrase that I use often, and he said, sincerity does not always truth. A person can be very sincere, but be very sincerely wrong. Dave, what are your thoughts?
It's you see it. I mean, it's right along the lines of, look, I'm 10 years away from retirement. It's going to take 12 years to get this money back that I'm losing. I said, but when you look at these things and what Trump's trying to do, it should come back better and quicker and faster than what we're seeing now. So it's a little bit of pain. It's not nearly as bad as what 08 showed. So we're well on our way.
Right. Adam?
You know, we've sat here and we've looked, and we're seeing, we've got, 50 countries now that are at the table. and they are kind of the smaller ones on the. But it is kind of a race to see who's gonna. It's almost like a musical chairs. Who's the last one as the chairs get pulled away? I mean, and I'm almost going to say that China's going to be pretty much near the end. They think they're the bigger 800-pound gorilla that can throw their weight. And at the end of the day, we hold all the cards.
And meanwhile, they're dumping how many trillions of yuan into their own economy?
And not to mention the currency manipulation and everything else. I mean, before the influx of the funds where the Clinton administration started flooding into China, they were a third world country.
Yeah. Alex?
And
Oh, go ahead.
yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Alex?
You look at employment numbers, right? All of these, I'm just going to say it, bullshit employment numbers under the previous administration, because being government jobs over the top. This wasn't real numbers, right? And we're watching the erasing of that in the stock market, the erasing in the employment numbers. The employment numbers that came out just recently are way higher than predicted. And these are real jobs. Bloated government spending, fat new 80,000 IRS, which affected his job numbers. Like, really dig into the receipts of what's happening right now, and get 11 weeks. 11 weeks. Think about that. There's 52 weeks. We're just getting started, and let's come in and decimated the playing field and put us back where one. The refs are on the field. We're calling plays fairly now, and it's no longer one-sided.
Right. James?
Well, every statement that you've given up to this point, all of you have been very much aligned. There's not a lot to say after that.
Yeah.
But 50 that come to the table, one has to speculate: are they fearing of going broke? Are they fear of future business, or a combination of both? I think they're all running to the table as quick as they can, and I think Adam said it exactly right. When it comes right down to it, the heavy hitters like China, bigger hitters like China, think they are the 800-pound gorilla. You know,
Right.
they're back and say, well, there's going to be something that's going to change. But once they see that tidal wave carrying the big boat, they're going to want to get on board too.
Right. Exactly. Christy B and Don the Third G, thank you for all the gifts. Excuse me. KCMCG, love Lindell's products. Yeah, I do too. I have a lot of them, to say the least. Patricia said Trump. Yes, that's right. Scratch 65, thank you for the gifts. So let's see. Oh, wait a minute. All right. R. Young, thank you for the gifts. Let's see here. What do we got next up on the hit list here today, guys and gals? Oh, also, yesterday, last night, everybody on our group text chain here, the Japanese stock market being suspended last night and this morning because they hit a circuit breaker, which basically means if a stock or if a market goes up or down too quickly, they put a stop on it. Well, that happened in Japan yesterday. It also happened in Taiwan. It also happened. This is the trigger, that is. It also happened in China, right? So we have multiple stock markets around the world triggering. Alex, that right now on the Dow.
The Dow currently is sitting at 37,390, which is down one day 2,000 points, it says.
Wow. Okay. James, what do you think of all this?
Well, the fluctuation is troubling to a lot of people. It's troubling to me also. But you trust the process. It's coming around. It's going to be a slow term. It's coming. And for that matter, it's actually going at light speed.
Right. I agree. Jen?
I agree with James. You know, things go down before they come back up. You know, you have to fall on your face before you can climb the mountain. So I just say keep following what's going on and
Right. Dave?
do about it right now.
Yeah, the Dow Jones just was at 600, so it's changed that much. But when Trump said, what, 50-some countries have contacted him? Away in 3 or 4 days. So I imagine by the end of the week, we'll be maybe knocking at 2/3 of the countries have contacted him. Because, like we said yesterday, you don't want to be the last one in.
Right, exactly.
And what's unique about this situation? Okay, think historically. When we go back to 2008 or go back to 96, the dot-com bubble, everything's great. Everything's great. Boom, it's great, right? Out of nowhere. Like, the economy's just great. All built on inflated numbers, people making an exorbitant amount of money in the background until it pops, right? When we go to 2008, and you've got mortgage-backed securities, and they're bundled and they're sold, and deceptive lending practices, and everything's great. The economy's roaring. Boom. And,
You get a house. I get a house. Everybody gets a house.
right. Difference now is that was coming, regardless of whether this man was in or not. We were on the verge of that pop. And what he's done is it is a controlled pop, which is the first time that that's happened. And that controlled pop is going to set us to rebound with the tariffs, with the jobs coming in, with the investments, 5 billion, trillion, whatever it is. Lots of money coming in. It's historic, folks. So just take a deep breath. It's going to be all right.
But you can't forget there are things happening behind the scenes that aren't really readily available.
Right.
And one of those things, I mean, you think about Ukraine being on the take. Well, guess what? This week they're coming to Washington to talk about getting access to the United States for their precious minerals.
Right.
That's a big deal.
It's a big deal. Right. Coach B said, no pain, no gain. Very well spoken, B. Hey, Donna Fox is here, one of our subscribers. Hey, Donna, glad you can make it. So let's see here. Oh, Virgo 47 said, great analogy, Alex. I'm sorry, Adam. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I'm sitting here when I got up and I saw the rush from overnight. All I think back to the Asian flu back of 1998 when I first started trading then, and how curbs were brought in. We look at 01, and I remember 08. This has the feeling of the build in of really you now starting into kind of the final rush of this reset, if you will, and from my standpoint, in my opinion. Hey, don't listen to me. I don't know anything. I'm just Joe Blow on the corner. But this is what I was really starting to look for: were multiple markets having the curves coming in and having this kind of major move downward. You have to go through this to reset and bring the underlying economy in line with the actual market. You can't be living this lie. You can't be living fat on the hog all this time. My perspective, I think we're starting kind of the tail end of what August of 08 was, and you'll see that build into what it being mid-October. Well, it might not be so long, and I think he's doing it right. He's doing it now, so that we're not feeling the pain later. You got to take out everything now financially and economically so it can heal the term.
Well, I have been calling what I call the switch for the last several years on this channel, and it's happening right now. How many times has Alex said the stock market is overvalued? It has to correct itself, and now it's being forced to correct. Right, Alex?
It's a controlled pop of a bubble that was inevitably coming. Look,
right
back to 1913. This is the third iteration of the centralized banking system. You can't have a power economy when there are 14 computers inside of the treasury that somebody can sit down and go, oh, $1 billion for you. $1 for you.
Exactly.
$1 billion for you. Quantitative easing underneath Obama. Like these are all these printing presses have consequences, and what we're seeing right now was invisible. Like nothing we could have done to stop that. And the fact that he stepped in, leveling the playing field, popping the bubble, bringing us back onto a level ground so that we can get our feet underneath this. The South Fund. I mean, 11 weeks, folks. 11
Right.
weeks.
Let's do a survey here for everybody out at home watching. Number one, you're with what's going on and you have faith that we're going in the right direction. Number two, you're scared and you don't know what to expect. One, you have faith and you're good. Two, you're scared and you don't know. Tell me things here. All right, so we have one by just like Dutton won, Tracy Fagan won, Traveler won, Mark Madison won. We have Working Fun, Theo 4. Of course, there's always got to be somebody in the. Wendy 1, Leonard 1, Anthony Nana 1, Marvin Hume 1, Jess Cushion 1, Don the Third G. Yeah, it's overwhelmingly people are fine with what's going on, and ultimately they trust President Trump and the team, and I am among those that have trusted him and will keep him. The man he's made promises. Lisa Maria, a whole bunch of ones. The man has made promises, kept those promises. Maybe it wasn't in the time frame we had hoped for or expected, but delivering like nobody else in history, in my opinion. Jen, what do you think?
I just think it's good time. You know, I think there's more people out there that are not going to say, you know, I'm scared, you know. So even though they're seeing all these bills and everything signing, I really think that people are still scared. They think of the worst, right? So
Right.
I think it's just time. Time will show everything. Even
Right.
things that are being shown now, a lot of people need it like in front of them, in their hands, in order to do so.
Right.
But people will start to come around and change and look up for the better and reuniting and people getting along again. But right now, like Donald Trump shook everything up.
Yeah, exactly.
So people are like, what's going on? So
Right.
I don't think he shook everything up. I think this explains all your ones.
Yep.
I think that we, the people, stood up and said, it's time to shake things up. It's time to do things differently. It's time to make some change, folks.
Absolutely.
This isn't the CNN narrative, though, right? This isn't what the television is telling me. It's just telling me Orange Man bad, and that you MAGA people are all part of a party that does this and does that, and it's see through the noise.
Right.
I agree with that 100%. But because I'm from Lackawanna, Scranton, there's more people that believe me. Like I see every single day, and people.
Yeah.
But even though if it's percent out there, whatever the percentage is,
Right.
those people need to see it in their hands. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
but they will come around.
Donna Fox, a subscriber, said he has a plan. What's that, Dave?
Where the Dow's at now, we were there a year ago when we first crossed over the boundary, just over a year ago. I mean, we haven't erased 10 years of the Dow. We've erased right now.
Right.
Yeah.
307 Patriot said that's a lot of red. Yes, it is. And we have spoken. Traveler, a subscriber, said, yes, love the red. Yeah, you and me both, Traveler.
Well, I think that the number twos are literally responding out of fear. That's just what it is, because they haven't educated themselves. They have literally fallen into the derangement narrative, and instead of actually looking at it, because I can tell you right now, as I know there's at least gentlemen on this panel that have traveled across this country and have seen the underlying economy, what the reality is with everyday Americans, how much the narrative has been false. Our economy's doing great. Our economy has been doing great. There are more homeless people now than there's ever been. And the fact that, oh no, it's been wonderful.
Right.
There isn't a person I don't know that isn't struggling.
Right. And if you look at what's happening with the exposure of Social Security, the exposure of the Treasury, the exposure of USAID, it's all building up to a crescendo. That crescendo is going to reveal and produce the most prosperous economy that certainly here in America we've ever seen. Now, is it going to happen tomorrow? No, but it's going to happen, and it's going to happen much quicker than I expected it to. I didn't think this would happen in my lifetime, and here we are right in the middle of it. So if for no other reason, hang in there. We're moving in the right direction. Trendy Mama said exactly what we hired him for. Exactly. It was a mandate change, and that's what's happening. Donna Fox said, "You got that right." You're right, Donna. We do have it right. Excuse me. All right. Well, it looks like we have come to the end of the dispatch. Now, everyone, tomorrow, we are doing a live at 12 p.m. tomorrow instead of 9 a.m. In fact, Jen, Pacific time. In fact, Jen, if you want to send me a message offline, I'll enter you in on our group chat so you know what time we're going in. It's 12 p.m. tomorrow. Now, I am going to be traveling today and tomorrow, so give us a little grace. I may actually have to do the live from, I'm not really sure at this point, but if I do, I'm sure with Alex's technology expertise, we'll be able to get it figured out one way or the other. But just be prepared for that. So let's go to thoughts, Dave.
Just be patient. Let us work it out. Dow Jones now down 526. So it's varying 300-400 points at a time. Hopefully it starts turning green here and starts working its way back up with better news. But I appreciate everybody's positive. Keep moving forward.
Adam?
We're having to take the medicine up front right here. I look at the next handful of weeks, kind of this motion of we'll have a little bit of up and working its way down for the reset. But at the end of the day, I'd say it's the long haul. It's going to be much better on the other side, and just make every day count. That's all I can.
Yep. Jen?
Listen, it takes 9 months to make a child. Okay. Nothing. Do you know an elephant is pregnant for like, what is it, 5 years or something? It takes a while. Two? Is it two? Sorry.
It's like 2.5.
2.5. That's a long time to make it. So like, I mean, it just doesn't happen overnight. The things that Donald Trump has done so far is unbelievable. So he has made so much progress. It's just, it blows my mind. So we'll just need to be calm, stay patient, believe and trust and one another.
Amen. Amen. James?
Well, you've all hit it right on the head too. That's just, patience is it's hard. We've come a long ways in a short time. There are so many things that are confusing, and I think back to my mother and father. My mom was 89 and my dad was 94 when they passed, and I can just hear them now. Who would have? We can buy our eggs on a street corner and our marijuana in.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I got Crystal said it's 18 to 22 months on an elephant. And believe me, she knows animals, and I'm speaking from experience. I've talked to Crystal. She knows exactly what she's talking about. So thank you, Crystal. Alex?
Man. Lots of, it's so hard to find seats in today's time, folks. You can't just take the top 5 searches on Google because easy for them to control that narrative. So us as conservatives and want to find receipts, go look. Which brings me to one little tidbit I wanted to share today. We always talk about the vaults, fbi.gov. Well, there's also another site that I wanted to share with everybody. If you go to EIA.gov/reading room.
And what is that, Alex?
Well, the CIA has lost FOIA requests and has to publication.
Ooh.
So to give you an idea, if we look at browse the collections. There are collections by geography, and you can filter it by date. And so, to give you an idea over the course of what has happened, there were 922,000 posts. In 2017, there were 18,723. That sounds to me, in the early years of all that we're looking at, pretty huge declass and loss. When a FOIA request, Freedom of Information Act, they had to produce the information. If we're looking at the last January, February, March, 1,573 FOIA requests have been published.
Wow.
It's a treasure trove of CIA information, but I'm like drooling out of both sides of my mouth going back and looking at 2016. Like, there is a shift in the world on what you can keep hidden from us to what you cannot keep hidden from us anymore. That is the shift we're watching happen. Knowledge is coming to whether they want it to or not. Knowledge is power. The more we know, the more educated we are on what reality is, not the narrative, the much more peace you can be with all of the things that are happening right now.
Very well
Good
stated.
on that, Alex, is that it doesn't discriminate whether you're Republican or Democrat.
Right.
Receipt's receipt. When I
Receipt's
get a
receipt.
receipt at the gas pump, it has a number. It doesn't say red blue next to the number.
Right, exactly. Hey, Chuck Humphrey, thank you for all the gifts. 80 Deuce Cab just made it here. Well, you're a little late, Deuce, but I'm glad. So, as everyone here has echoed already, stay the course, hold the line. We're moving in the right direction. There's a lot. What's that, James? What? I don't get it. Oh. For anybody who doesn't know, James lost a bet over the weekend to shave his own eyebrows, and that's what he's referring to. And I think Alex, out of empathy, decided to trim his beard just to make James feel better.
No, he didn't do anything about it. I looked at my ski mask. I looked for everything. I almost put on a snow just to.
Oh, it looks fine.
Looks fine is right. So anyway, everybody, tomorrow, 12 p.m. Pacific time for the live. And as I've said, we're moving forward. Things are happening at a very fast rate. We're in the right direction. And Alex, he's telling it. He's making it crystal clear over there. We're moving in the right direction, and the best to come. So thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you, everybody on the panel. And we'll see you all tomorrow. Have a great day.